YouTube and welcome to another informative video. गाड़ी का काफ़ी काम करा मैं, but I was too lazy to shoot because मैं अकेले करता हूँ तो शूट करते हुए काम करना जान पे आता. But I thought आज I couldn't find many videos of clutch replacements of the 2009 to 2014 R1 online as well. Clutch lurching, Graves clutch kit, ये वो 100 चीज़ें हैं. So today I'm going to show you guys how to rebuild your entire clutch, that is the clutch springs, the steel plates and the fiber plates which are currently soaking in fresh engine oil on the bike. So before starting anything, yes, it's always advisable to remove your entire old engine oil. आप 100 किलोमीटर पहले भी अगर डाले हुए हैं, you have to remove the entire engine oil and also replace the oil filter because पुराने plates के fibers के जो टुकड़े रहते those are kind of suspended in the oil. And also one more thing, you may feel that if you change the oil, especially if you're using fully synthetic oil जो आजकल के तकरीबन performance गाड़ियों में use करते हैं, if you change the oil on your bike when the clutch is kind of gone, मतलब गए हुए clutch पे आप fresh oil डालें तो it will worsen because the old clutch plate particles are no more suspended in the new oil, so friction increases. And खैर वो ज़रा 2-3 myths clear करना था. And apart from that, one more myth, people soak this overnight. थोड़े जने तो शादी के दिन सोक करके वलीमे के दिन निकालेंगे, थोड़े जने शादी को डाल के जुमागी के दिन निकालते हैं. उतना कुछ सीन नहीं है. 1 hour of soaking is more than enough. This is the race clutch kit, so it's got the Kevlar plates. Also we'll have to see कि a lot of people tell can not to use fully synthetic oil with these fibers, but I think अगर मोटरसाइकिल का dedicated oil use करें तो प्रॉब्लम कुछ नहीं रहेंगी. तो we'll change these. 1 घंटे के लिए soak कर लिए, more than enough, and then I'll open up the clutch pack and show you guys how it's done. So before we begin, we'll have to drain the engine oil and remove the oil filter assembly. उसके लिए गाड़ी के ये 2 लोअर फेयरिंग्स खोलना पड़ता, 3 बोल्टों पे है, यू कैन लुक दोज अप. वो खोल के इंजन ऑयल ड्रेन करके बाकी का वीडियो कंटिन्यू करेंगे अपन. So as you can see, that's not the coolant because it's green. 300V engine oil है. I rode hardly 200 kilometers after changing the oil, so it's still green. We removed that oil and the next thing we have to do is take this cover off. तो पहले अपन इसका इंजन ऑयल का ढक्कन खोल लेना, उसके बाद से ये नीचे का जो केबल है उसको उसमें से निकाल देना, and then I'll show you the rest of the steps. So as you can see, I have removed the clutch cable. It's just 2 nuts holding it. ज़रा ढीले करके इसमें से slip out कर देना. So this is the thing here. ज़रा लाइट की कमी आ रहा हो. ये गन शॉटों के जो आवाज़ आ रहे हैं, हमारा फालतू भाई वहाँ बैठ के PUBG खेल रहा, हेल्प करो बोले तो फालतू. कौन सी गन है रे? M416 है. तो खैर अलबत्ता कोई अगर यहाँ टॉर्च लाइट मारे, हमारे गनी भाई अल्लाह उनको अच्छा रखो, थोड़ा टॉर्च मार रहे हैं. So important thing is when you're planning to take your clutch cover off, so you can see this small arrow here. भैया ज़रा लाइट पकड़ो 1 सेकेंड, यही एंगल पे पकड़ो. So this arrow, भैया नीचे से मारो. So this arrow right here and this dot right here, remember that as a reference point. ज़रूरत पड़ी तो you can also mark it with a sticker or a whitener because clutch cover खोलने से ज़्यादा जब वापस बिठा रहे आप, these dots should align, only then it will completely go inside and perfectly engage. So I've removed all the bolts. Some of the bolts have Loctite on them, as you can see. ये इधर की heat shield का जो bolt है, it's a star Allen key thingy. तो let's just remaining 2 Allen कीयाँ खोल के let's take it off. चीज़ भूल गया, मनी आना इसके अंदर उंगली डाले तो यू गेट अ गुड ग्रिप. सो बी केयरफुल इफ योर फिंगर हिट्स एनीथिंग. So this is the clutch cover. You can reuse the old gasket, but I suggest ज़्यादातर निकालने में लगाने में अपनी gasket खुले मिल जाती. तो and also you should always have the latest parts in stock. So this is a gasket by Athena, Italy. No, they did not sponsor this video. And yeah, mic पीछे है उसका. And yes, ये हम मंगाई थी मोटो से. So new gasket goes in along with the, अरे क्या खेल रहा है भाई, along with the whatever the fuck. So anyways, now you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 complete screws which are holding the clutch springs and the pressure plate, जो boss was जो भी बोलते हैं, holding it together and holding all the friction plates inside. तो ये ज़रा नाचते रहता. All the clutch rattle you hear from most Yamahas is because of this thing and couple other things. तो let's just put the clutch cover aside. भैया ज़रा पीछे डाल दो. Complicated, you know, half of the engine as you can see. तो I suggest 10 का टीपाना लियो, 1 2 3 4, इनफैक्ट ऐसा सक्सेशन में नको करो, 1 2 then 3 4 then 5 6 so that the pressure is relieved equally. And don't try to use a screwdriver. As you can see star bit भी है, but if you use that you'll just end up grazing the क्या बोलते हैं उसके गालों को बुल्ले मिलाए थे आप. तो it's just anyways let me just do that. भैया लेते रहो.
इधर बोलो कि सामने गाड़ी करें.
So loosen the knob lightly with a T-pana and then नहीं sorry, and then use a screwdriver to completely remove them. So these are what hold the clutch springs inside. Background जबरदस्त romantic music चल रही है. And भैया ज़रा स्टार स्क्रूड्राइवर दो भैया पीछे से. तो as always when working on the bike, कहीं भी अगर excessive force लग रहा तो ज़रा भी careful, because कहीं भी excessive force लगाने से कभी भी कुछ भी अच्छा नहीं हुआ. खुदा का भाई सुने ना. तो अलबत्ता ये अपना पहला क्लच स्प्रिंग पूरी तरह बाहर आ चुका है. And God knows why it's multicolored, but I really have no idea. I think they're really bad. So you have to reuse the old bolts. The springs will be putting in new ones. So be careful because they have these washers inside them. So make sure you do not lose these little fuckers. So keep that aside. And like I said, alternatingly, nikalo aap. So one more important thing, when you're removing these screws अंदर से springs, there's this little black washer that sits inside हर उसके अंदर. So be careful not to lose them. Once you remove the pressure plate, put them back in and safely रख दो उसको. तो as you can see एक अंदर already है, इसका बाहर निकला था तो उस वजह से हम बाहर रख दिए. So yeah. So carefully remove the clutch boss, because boss के अंदर पीछे के प्लेटों का अलाइनमेंट आउट नहीं करना आप. We'll discuss that later. This thing comes out and ये छोटी सी नुन्नू झांकते रहती है उसकी. Just leave it like that. उसका orientation we'll check that out in a minute, but there'll be oil dripping, so yeah, be careful about that. And I did mention the little washers inside. थोड़े है, एक बाहर है, एक सेकेंड वो एक अंदर डाल देंगे अपन. अच्छा होगा. So yep, all the washers are in. Put your pressure plate to the side. So now we'll go ahead and start removing the plates. Now the order to put in and put the plates out is really important. The first plate will always be slightly differently placed. You see these two markers above. भैया थोड़ा ऊपर करो कैमरा. So those arrows are where all the plates go in, but the first plate, the बाहर से जो पहली plate है, that goes in a notch the other side. So we'll just start removing the plates, and it's important to keep them in order for reasons which I'll tell you later. So you can start removing them. Have a magnet puller handy so you can remove all the internal plates, and we will start removing them, and एक के पीछे एक रख के बराबर एक स्टैक बनेंगे अपन. So we'll go ahead. अरे जल के बुल्ले मिल गए अपने प्लेट में. So always remember, the steel side goes on the steel plates. When you're removing them, please make note, one edge is slightly rougher, the other edge is slightly smoother. So the rough edge comes outside and the smooth edge goes inside. So it goes this way. So yep, let's remove them. Yeah, बंद कर दो recording. So in case if you're using कार चोदी के कामा, just make sure you do not put any scratches or grazes on your gates. It's all stuck together. Yep. Put it this way. The last steel and friction plate is stuck. So as you can see, this is the clutch stack height, and usually the first and the last plates are supposed to be small, but in the kit which I ordered, all the clutch plates are the same. So let's just count the number of friction and steel plates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So 9 friction plates in total. So about the Graves clutch mod on 2008 and lesser models, there used to be a spacer and a holder inside the clutch basket placed over here. So that would generally reduce the vibrations and the juddery nature of the clutch, but it's not there in this. I'm not going to do that mod. I'm just going to reuse the new clutch plates. So let's wait for it. So once you remove everything, it's a good time to clean up जो gasket के remaining कचरा वचरा रहता और बाकी की चीज़ां. Make sure nothing falls and stays inside the clutch basket or this area. So just be very careful. ज़रा किराक पने से साफ़ करो, कोने कोने से साफ़ करो, इस्माइल भाई के जैसा. बंद कर दो भैया, कर दो जी. So if you've gotten a set of EBC Kevlar plates, इसमें आपको एक बड़ा एक छोटा की कोई लुल्लीच नहीं है. All the plates are the same size, but the only important thing you should be careful about is these notches. तो certain जगहों पे single notch है. So you have a single notch this side, and then you'll have a ट्रिपल नॉच दिस साइड. सो आई डोंट थिंक इट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस कि आप कैसा भी बिठाओ, बट ऑल द प्लेट शुड बी लाइंड अप. मतलब ये ऐसा यूँ ऐसा टेढ़े बिंगे ऑर्डर में करके थोड़े यूँ बिठाए तो पूरा क्लच बुल्ले मिल जाता. प्लीज़ डोंट डू दैट. कीप देम अलाइंड एंड वील हैव टू गो 1 फ्रिक्शन 1 स्टील 1 फ्रिक्शन 1 स्टील. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट ऑफ विद द फर्स्ट फ्रिक्शन प्लेट. ऑयल टपकते ही रहता है इसमें से, तो देयर इज नथिंग वी कैन डू अबाउट दैट. सो वी जस्ट गोना कीप द 3 कोनी ऊपर and we'll keep the single कोनी नीचे, just because I like 3 more than 1. So as you can see, we are going to start installing the new plates inside. The new friction plates have been soaked in for quite a while, so let them be in the oil. There'll be oil dripping, so अपन जरा एक कपड़ा डाल दिए. So the first plate that goes in is going to be a friction plate, as I have confirmed with my old plates. Let me just show them to you. The old friction plates, I think 07, 08 पे थोड़ा अलग है, but on my 09 all the plates are basically the same size. ऐसा कुछ शुरू में छोटी बड़ी ऐसा कुछ भी शार्ट नहीं है. So I think that's only for the 2008 one. I am not sure, but on the 2009 it's more or less the same. So I put the old plates back in. So let's start off with the first friction plate. So now coming on to the most important part, dripping in oil. थोड़ा ऑयल ड्रिप हो जाने देंगे अपन. यू कैन सी, ज़रा नज़दीक लो भैया, एक तरफ 3 नॉचेस है और एक तरफ 2 नॉचेस है. सो इट डजेंट मैटर कि फ्रिक्शन प्लेट आप यूँ बिठा रहे या यूँ बिठा रहे, बट पूरे प्लेट्स के ये नॉचेस अलाइंड रहना. सो आई जस्ट कीप द, एज आई सेड, ये 3 को नहीं ऊपर रखेंगे अपन. भैया लाइए. सो द फर्स्ट वन गोज इन. बिस्मिल्लाह. So these arrows are important. उसके अंदर ही गया अपना first 3 कोनी. Push that all the way in. So the first friction plate is in, and we keep following that, followed by a steel plate. So you don't necessarily have to soak the steel plates in oil, but ज़रा खाली एक यूँ dip मार के निकाल लिए तो ज़रा better रहता, because these things they do catch on to a lot of oil. So now the important part is on the steel plates you will feel के एक side ज़रा smooth है, एक side थोड़ा rough है. I'm not talking about these dots. These are dotted ones. As you can see, the stock steel plates are not dotted. As in most things in life, dotted चीज़ों में pleasure ज़्यादा रहता, so it's always better you use dotted ones. But yeah, coming on to the point, this edge is a bit smoother and this edge is a bit rougher. आप ये दांतों को देखें, so the rough edge goes inside and the smooth edge, that is this edge, faces outside. So let's go. And इसके अंदर आप कैसा डाल रहे, doesn't matter because it sits in these gears. So the orientation, I mean, आप ऐसा घुसा रहे या ऐसा घुसा रहे, doesn't matter. As in most things in life, आड़ा टेढ़ा घुसाने से ज़्यादा नुकसान नहीं होता. But orientation and the right hole is important. So same succession, पहला friction फिर steel फिर friction फिर steel. We'll keep doing that and come back. बंद कर दो. This part here is important. इसको आप वैसे जैसा पहले के orientation में था वो orientation में रख के you'll have to put this thing on and do not forget the washers which were inside. So this goes in this way. Yup, that is, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So now we'll be replacing the old springs. You can see थोड़े milky white हो गए, थोड़े काले पीले नीले. So you know there are a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 springs. We are going to put them aside, and here I have the EBC heavy clutch spring set, and I'm going to tear it, but not with my oily hands. I'm going to use a screwdriver, even though I have a khainchi because I am jungly like that. एंड पुराने नए स्प्रिंग आप मिक्सअप नको कर दो, क्योंकि मिक्सअप हो गया तो वाट लग जाती. सो लेट्स पुट द ओल्ड स्प्रिंग्स समवेयर अवे. एंड एनीवेज द ओरिएंटेशन ऑफ द न्यू स्प्रिंग्स डजंट मैटर बिकॉज दोनों तरफ से भी ऑलमोस्ट फ्लैट ही है, तो आप कैसा भी बिठाओ फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. सो यू टेक दीज एंड put them in some oil. So you take these and start putting the bolts inside them and then start putting them on. So the clutch pressure plate, boss plate जो भी बोलते हैं इसको, ये ऐसे लटकता रहता है. इसका orientation towards the end, but the important part is sometimes the clutch plate up here doesn't go entirely inside. उसको थोड़ा back and forth rock करने के बाद से उन्हें सीधा सीधा अंदर जाती. So you can see here there should be no gap between the last friction plate and this. तो वो पूरा बराबर होने के बाद ही आप स्प्रिंग और ये अंदर वापस बिठाना. एंड लाइक आई मैंशन, प्लीज़ मेक श्योर यू पुट देम इन अ क्रिस क्रॉस पैटर्न. सो फर्स्ट इधर और इधर, फिर इधर इधर, फिर इधर इधर. सो वील जस्ट डू दैट विद द न्यू स्प्रिंग्स एंड गेट बैक टू यू. सो द क्लच कवर शुड बी एज नीट एज पॉसिबल. कोने पूरे साफ़ करके पुराने गैस्केट के टुकड़े निकाल देना. एंड देन अलाइन, यू हैव दी स्मॉल मेटल थिंगीज. एक तो इसके अंदर अटैच्ड है और दो इधर एक और एक इधर एक है, विच मेक श्योर यू पुट इट इन प्लेस. एंड यू कैन सी ये जो हरा हरा है ये कलर नहीं है, ये गैस्केट है, द न्यू गैस्केट. वी ऑलरेडी पुट इट इन, अलाइंड इट. सो इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर टू पुट द गैस्केट ऑन द इंजन साइड बिकॉज देयर इज लेस चांसेस ऑफ इट स्लिपिंग एनीवेयर, बिकॉज ये दो माउंटिंग पॉइंट्स पे बैठती instead of doing it on the clutch cover. So now the hardest part that we have is putting the clutch cover back on. So you can see the spring, this spring sits here and this sits here, so there is a force which acts like this. So you align this dot with that when you're putting it in. तो पहले अपन बिठाने की कोशिश करेंगे इसमें. So this will take some practice because it has to sit flush with this. इसका alignment और उसका alignment थोड़ा set करके लगाना पड़ता है आपको. Like I told you, the arrow mark and the dot should line up when you open it up. So ज़रा इसको fit कर लेके अपन continue करेंगे. So finally we are done with the hardest part, that was putting this back on. So that required aligning this because after a certain point इन्हें hard हो जाता है and only the cable can pull it forward. That's when the clutch engages. So when this is removed, this thing is supposed to line up with the arrow mark there, जो मैं आपको अब नहीं बता सकता हूँ because अभी तो clutch पे tension ज़्यादा है. But yeah, remember that. तो एक एक दांत अंदर बाहर करके you have to get it there. That was basically the hardest part of the entire job. So let's put back all the bolts inside. उसके बाद ज़रा क्लच का एडजस्टमेंट देख के अपन देखेंगे क्या करना है. all the work done. It's what, say 12 o'clock in the night, and the clutch feel is really good. It's okay initially when you're riding, थोड़ा clutch पकड़े बाद भी गाड़ी आगे जा रही जैसा दिखता. You just have to keep it started for a while, let the oil circulate. Sometimes अपन ज़्यादा oil में dip कर देते, उस वजह से भी होता हो. So as you keep riding, it will be fine. But even after say 2-3 kilometers of riding, you still feel के clutch में कुछ अजीब दिख रहा. So immediately stop the bike, get it inspected by more experienced guy. But वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए. If you've done everything correctly 90% of the times, there should be no issue. Clutch की juddering तो काफ़ी कम हो गई with the EBC kit, but I will know only when I move the bike out tomorrow. Apart from that, I've also changed the rear brake line to a HEL steel braided one. Completely bled the brakes, got new brake pads. तो brake bleeding के ऊपर I was too lazy to make a video. I'll do it probably some other time. ये छोटे छोटे चीज़ों में हम बहुत expert हैं, in fact major चीज़ों में भी. So there'll be more informative videos on the R1. तो that's it. Do comment if you guys like this kind of videos. I'll try to make more informative videos. See you guys. Next up is gonna be the valve timing, which I'm gonna do the last.